What's up, Shawn? Good to see you.
Good to be back, Joe. Thanks.
You're still alive. You've been eating nothing but meat, and you're still alive.
I am still alive.
Fucking doubters be gone.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, before we get started, I just want to say thank you for the stem cell stuff, but also for, just having the conversations that other people are not willing to have. And, I see where they try to cancel you and all the BS and you didn't have to do that, but you let other people have discussions so we're not being censored. So just in case other people I'm sure you've been told that before.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a weird time, man. It's first of all, it's a weird time that a guy like me has a show, which is bizarre. That this kind of, that I'm a source of information in some sort of strange way, because that's certainly not what I set out to do. Just along the line, I'm curious. I wanted to talk to people, including you and this diet. And, I tell people, I'm not strict with my carnivore diet. Like Saturday night I had sushi. But I'll tell you, I felt like shit afterwards. I ate a ton of it. I ate so much. I'm a glutton. But all that rice, I was like, oh. It just makes me realize like how much better I feel when I only eat carnivore. When I just eat mostly meat, I feel so much better. I mean, maybe it's anecdotal. Maybe it's just me and you, maybe and many other people that do it. But there's something to it. But you're an extreme example because you have been doing it now for how many years?
So I'm starting my 8th year. So just
8th year.
Yeah. So when I came to see you last time, it was 6 years ago. So I'd been just finished 7 years now. So yeah, it's been a while. And
people should know that you're actually a doctor. You're an orthopedic surgeon, and you didn't at one point in time they took your license away because you were providing medical information, but you got it back?
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting thing. So when I was practicing medicine, busy orthopedic surgeon, plugging away, doing a thing, and then I started realizing, hey, I can have people avoid surgery by changing their diet. Their pain went away. And I was like, you don't need surgery. Well, that is not what hospitals want you to do. They want you to, keep the engines turning, so to speak. And so I, just said, hey, look, I want to practice some lifestyle stuff. And that ended up, leading to a long battle with myself in the hospital. The hospital basically suspended my privileges and went to the state. The state said, hey, you can fight this, in our sort of state medical board situation, or you can get independently evaluated. And I said, well, let me just get independently evaluated because I don't see eye to eye with the hospital. And so that was done. It was like right at the time when I saw you a couple of days before, and they came back and said, there's nothing wrong with you. Go back to work. And so I got that, and then I had to, reapply to the board, reapplied for a license. They granted my license, and I've renewed it 3 times since then. So I'm a licensed medical, licensed doctor, but I just, right now I'm not actually actively practicing because I got frustrated with the medical system. I think our healthcare system has some serious problems, some serious conflicts of interest, some serious, I think the incentives for providing what I think is appropriate healthcare is misaligned. And so, over the last few years, so we set up a company which is called Rivero, and we're licensed in all 50 states. We have physicians all across the country, and we're basically set up to provide what I call actual healthcare, root cause medicine, get people off the medications, actually, try and fix their disease and not just medicate everybody, because we have such a system where everybody's just like, you go to the doctor, here's your diagnosis, here's your drugs, stay on the rest of your life, which I think is the wrong course.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What's the name of the company again?
So the company's called Rivero, Revero, and so we raised a bunch of money from crowdfunding and also a bunch of venture capitalists, and so we've been basically building that. We've got thousands of people that are basically on the waiting list. We launch in a couple of weeks, and so so like I said, it's going to be something that I think will provide healthcare as it should be, instead of, like I said, just the symptom management, putting Band-Aids on stuff, actually getting people healthy. Because I think a lot of diseases are reversible, and we've seen that all the time. We see that pretty frequently.
Well, that's one of the most fascinating things about this carnivore diet is how many, albeit anecdotal stories, you have of people that had all these different conditions, chronic pain, rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue, all these different issues, skin issues, eczema, all these different things that they were treating with medication. It wasn't working. They were experiencing side effects. They start eliminating everything from their diet except for meat, and all of a sudden these problems go away. I mean, there's too many of those stories for it to be ignored.
Yeah, it's I've been astounded by the number of just crazy things that have happened. And again, it's not that that is the most profound, rigorous type of science that you can do, but you can't ignore it at this point. There are literally probably hundreds of thousands of people now tried. I've been all over the world now talking about this, and I get people from Germany and Greece and China and Japan and Africa that have all done this, and they all say the same thing. Look, I was sick, and now I'm not sick anymore. And so, whether or not that is enough evidence to say this is a good treatment, I can't say that, but you can't deny it's happening. And I've been trying to get research done. In fact, there was a study done out of Harvard University 2 years ago. I don't know if you saw that. So there's a guy named David Ludwig who is a senior author. And David, I've talked to him. He is the most ethical, just like he does not want any money from industry. He refuses to take anything. He's like, I want to make sure I do pure science. And they did a study, and they looked at 2,000 people on a carnivore diet. And basically what they saw was like 95% of the people, significant improvement across the board. Now, the thing that was interesting to me is that diabetics, we had like 225 diabetics in that population. 92% of them came off all their insulin. These are all type 2s.
That's insane.
So that's 100% came off all these other injectable drugs, the GLP-1 receptor agonists, which we've heard so much about lately, the Ozempics and things like that. Semaglutide, right. Came off something called a PCSK9 inhibitor. No, sorry, the SGLT2 inhibitors. 84% came off their metformin. So it's just like, this is clearly at least at the very least, a therapeutic tool. And that's how I push this. I don't tell, I wrote a book on this. I didn't say humans are carnivores. I said humans are opportunistic omnivores. If we were living in the Middle Ages and we were out hunting mammoths, and all of a sudden, the Ice Ages were out, and we came across a tree full of Twinkies. I mean, we'd play, shit, I'm going to eat that. We'd eat it, right? Because we would. But I mean, it's, and there's obviously people that eat plants that aren't dead and are doing okay. So we're omnivores. But from a disease, mitigation standpoint, I mean, a therapeutic carnivore diet is tremendously effective. I mean, it's one of the more effective things I've seen across the board. And so, at the very least, you'd say, let's explore that aspect of it, because, like I said, there's people that are suffering, and we've got so many people. I know we may talk about vegan, carnivore, all the, everything in between, but I think at the end of the day, everybody's eating processed garbage. I mean, we're just eating bullshit. I mean, and that is really one of the problems. And the one thing, and you said this, Joe, when you eat just meat, you're like, I don't want that other bullshit, because you're actually satiated. And this is a thing that's, I think, problematic, because if you look at, there was a study that just came out now looking at the financial incentive